So we are back again to do our homework or revision of figures of speech. Let's continue where we stopped. I'll do the 12th one again. Voice is less loud than the heart. If you see, the letter L is repeated for poetic effect, so alliteration. And if you see, the comparison here is the voices is a sound that you're talking, okay? And the heart, the sound from the heart is your heartbeat. So which should be louder? When you talk, you can hear that more clearly, whereas your heartbeat cannot be heard very loudly, right? But then they are saying that your voices are less loud, means softer than your heart. So it is an exaggeration that your heartbeat is so loud that you cannot hear your voice, but you can hear the heartbeat. It's an exaggerated statement. So it is an exaggerated statement. Exaggeration. Hyperbole or exaggerated statement. Hyperbole, hyperbole or exaggeration, and your answer will be it is an exaggerated statement. Okay, if you want, you can write what I told you, like the sound of the heart, that is heartbeats, and the voices is the sound of your voice, which should be louder. That this is only for your understanding. Moving on to the third one, the soldier fights for glory and a shilling a day. Now here shilling is a very small denomination of money, very less value. It's like 1 paisa, 2 paisa, which has really no little or no value at all. So here it is anticlimax because glory has a lot of value. It cannot be measured even with money, fame, glory. So that and a shilling. So the words are arranged in descending order. Anticlimax. Also alliteration because the letter S is repeated for poetic effect. The letter S is repeated for poetic effect. Moving on to the 14th one, I rejoice at the happy sight. Now you rejoice and happy both mean the same. So it is tautology. Words with similar meaning are expressed in the same sentence. Tautology, words with similar meaning are expressed in the same sentence. The next one, 15th one, I have no rest, no joy, no peace. Now here it is climax. Also you can say repetition because the word no is repeated for poetic effect. The word no is repeated for poetic effect. So climax, so repetition, and the words are arranged in ascending order. So climax. Now what is more important? You can say peace is the most important over here. That's why climax. Moving on to the next one. He was gathered to his forefathers. Now who are your forefathers? What do you call as Purvaj? Okay. So where are your Purvaj? Your grandfather. Are they there now here? No, they are not alive. They are all dead. So if he was gathered means he went near them, he went to them. So that means where is he? He is also dead. So it is something which is not pleasant to think of. Death, yes, is spoken of in a pleasant manner. So it is euphemism. Euphemism, euphemism, euphemism. An unpleasant thing, in bracket if you want you can write death, is spoken of in a pleasant way. Is spoken of in a pleasant way. The 17th one, wealth. I seek not. It is inversion. The words are not in the proper prose order. The proper prose order should be I seek not wealth. I seek not wealth. Moving on to the next one, 18th one, frowning brows of men. Here brows, you're talking of eyebrows, okay? So now who is frowning? Frowning means when you're angry, the face that you make, you bend your eyebrows. Yes, inside, inward. That's frowning. So frowning brows of men. So who is frowning? Are the brows frowning? Are the brows angry or irritated? No, it is the man who is irritated. Correct? So it is what? Transferred epithet. Transferred epithet. The epithet is transferred from one noun to another. Now what are the two nouns here? Men and brows. Men and brows. So who should actually be frowning? The men. Well, as they are saying that the brows are frowning. So transferred epithet, E-P-I-T-H-E-T-H. The epithet explanation will be the epithet is transferred from one noun to another. Next one, the 19th one. Experience is a name everyone gives to their mistakes. This is an epigram. It is a, explanation will be, it is a proverb. It is a proverb. Second figure of speech will be E. The letter E is repeated, so alliteration. The letter E is repeated for poetic effect, so alliteration. Okay, the last one, she accepted it as the kind cruelty of the surgeon's knife. Now the letter S is repeated, so alliteration. And if you look at the words kind and cruelty, both are the opposite in meaning of each other, and they are both placed exactly next to each other, one after the other. So it is an oxymoron, not antithesis. It is an oxymoron because they are just one after the other. Words with opposite meanings, one after the other, is oxymoron. Yes? So we have completed your revision for figures of speech. I hope you all have got most of it right. If you all haven't, that means you all have to go back and study your figures of speech or revise it again. Wherever you all have made a mistake, you can just cancel it and write it down under your whole homework. After you have done your homework, you can write it over. Supposing your fifth one was wrong, you write answer 5 and write the answer over there. Clear? Supposing there are more than one figures of speech in one sentence and you've written just one. So that too you can do. Go say the 8th one. There are 3 figures of speech. Suppose which one has more than one? Say the 11th one has 2 figures of speech. You've written only one. So you, after you've written your 20th answer, you finished your whole homework, there you can write answer 11 continued and write the other figure of speech which you haven't written. Okay. So, and I expect you all to judge yourselves by seeing how many you all have got wrong, and you should get out of 20 at least 18 right to really be good at this topic. Clear? So for that you need to revise or study again. So today is the time you have the time, the whole day, no other studies are there. So I want you all to sit and revise this again if you all have not done well. Thank you, and do sit to revise your figures of speech.